Okay, you can start. You may start now.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So we are here today to actually conduct an interview with Puan Fauzia, a secondary school English teacher. Okay, I'm Shaswini, and these are all my friends. We have Gurdeep, Kaur, Arrisya, Arjuna, and Wiesam, Mursheeda today. So we are conducting this interview to actually fulfill our task of report writing on the issues of second language listening and speaking skills. This assignment is actually for our subject CES 2243, teaching of oral and oral skills.
Yeah, so, it's oral skills, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So without further delay, we shall start now. So hello, Puan Fauzia. How are you doing today?
Okay, I'm fine. Just had my dinner.
That's really nice. Okay, so before we move further into our interview today, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, like a brief introduction of yourself.
Me and my family, or me alone? Shaswini?
No, just you and your
about
background.
About me only.
Teaching and everything.
Okay, I've been teaching for almost, I think, this is my, I think my 31st year of teaching this year. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And earlier on, I was in primary school for 12 years. And then from there, in 2004, I was transferred to secondary school once I graduated from UPM. And then from there, I was in secondary school for about, I think, 12, around that lah. So all in 30 years experience.
Wow, okay, great. That's really nice to know. Okay, so according to Dove in 1998, he mentioned that learners cannot improve their speaking ability unless they develop listening ability.
Yeah.
My question is, do you agree with this statement? And if not, what do you think is important for second language learners to do in order to improve their oral skills? And how would you help your students to balance both skills, as well as what are the types of approaches that you use to help them during their learning process?
Okay, basically I agree with this statement because I myself believe that these two skills, listening and speaking, they come hand in hand and they complement each other. So I think they cannot stand alone. They complement each other. So as we speak, we will listen. That's why these two skills are very important. And these are the two basic skills that we need to, we need to expose and to engage. We try our best to engage students to speak, try to speak, spontaneously in this class, or sometimes try to be confident and so on. Is that answer your question?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Besides that, how do you think that this thing helps to balance both skills in a student?
What do you mean? This theory, this Dove theory?
Yes.
Are you okay? Dove theory in helping methodology, is it? Teachers' methodology.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it helps a lot. It helps a lot because we teachers, we need to be aware to, like, okay, let's say we teach, we will have two groups. Okay, reading comes together with writing, and then listening comes together with speaking. That's why we have these 4 skills, so that they are like, complement each other. So I feel that it is very important.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. What do you think as a teacher, what are the effective ways for second language learners to improve their oral skills?
Okay, I think
And
the best
what?
way. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay. You
Okay,
can
Shaswini.
move on with it.
Okay, the best way. You is it one way, or you want to have a few? You want me to list?
It's up to you. Which one do you
Okay,
think is
the best way to, like, encourage them to speak and to listen attentively, I think, is by, like, exposing or encourage them to, because those days lah, when I was young, I was exposed to this, like, watching movies, English movies, foreign movies. So that is one way of doing it. By listening to others, especially foreigners, somehow we will improve ourselves. So I believe in, we have to, like, ask ourselves, try to be confident and try to mingle with, not, for example, if let's say you are Malay, it's not necessary for you to only mingle with Malays or your own race. You have to mingle with other races, like, Chinese, if they are really good, Indians, foreigners, and so on.
Okay, following that, what do you think is like the major issue that affects second language learners from like improving their oral and oral skills?
Okay, I think the biggest issue is lack of confidence. Definitely they are lack of, especially among Malays. To them, they are like, they feel that when they try to speak in English, they are not confident at all. To them, they are like, they feel like they are very small and they are living in a different world, like another world, like alien world, or different world. It's not like living in this world lah. Okay, so when they are lack of confidence, they cannot express themselves. So when they cannot express themselves, that's how they is like, this cripple their motivation. That's why they cannot speak very well, or confidence is not there. Okay, I believe in that.
Okay, so we will move on to our next interviewer, please.
Okay, do you think it's important for educators to only use English language when communicating with second language learners?
Not necessarily. I believe that you can use other languages. For example, like if let's say that teachers are Indian, they can use Tamil, and if the teachers are Malay, they can use Malay language, and they can integrate all these skills together. In fact, I believe in direct translation. Because sometimes I have to explain certain things using Malay definitions, or to explain to weaker students especially.
Okay, that answered the first question. Okay, next, what kind of creative assessments that you use in order to help your students to improve their oral and oral skills?
One of the way is normally those days when, until now I will group them into groups, normally into groups of 6 or 7, and then they will mingle with their friends in the group, and then I'll make sure that there'll be, like, in a group it will be, it's not like we only focus on good students. In that particular group we have good student, average students, and weak students. So good or average student will help these weak students. Okay, and then they will, like, discuss in details, and that's how they will communicate and active, and try to be active in a group, and to complete all the tasks that being asked by the teachers.
Okay. So the next one is, How do you include oral and oral skills when you prepare your lesson plan?
Okay, normally, if let's say I focus on, okay, for example, like if I were to teach reading skills, I will integrate writing skills as well. Okay, and then if I were to teach, because like I said, they come hand in hand, like reading and writing, speaking and listening. So if I were to teach speaking and listening, I'll make sure that they only focus on these two skills. I will not, like, like let's say some of them, they will ask me, teacher, can I write something? No, you're not supposed to write. Try to speak as far as they can, even though they make a lot of grammatical mistakes. Normally, yeah, students will make a lot of mistakes. But then how I will, build up their confidence and try very hard to, ask them to speak as much as they can without making a lot of mistakes.
Okay, that's really good insight there. My next question is that what are the programs proposed by the Ministry of Education to enhance the oral and oral skills among secondary school students?
Okay, currently we have the latest one is HIP. Do you know what is HIP? HIP.
No.
Okay,
I
HIP
do
is
not.
highly immersive program. It's a new program that has been, introduced to most of school, secondary and primary. Okay, and primary level, I'm not sure, but in secondary school, you are supposed to, like, carry out, like, conduct the whole week. For example, like from Monday to Friday. For example, when you are in the class, you are supposed to speak in English. Like in my school, we encourage students to speak English, and they can only speak English and Bahasa Melayu in their class. They are not supposed to speak other languages, because HIP program, they only concern with these two languages, integrating of these two skills, Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa English together. It's like they call it what? Memperkasa and something like that. Okay.
Memperkasakan bahasa Melayu.
Second, your mother tongue as well as your first language, something like that. Okay, so that's how they do it. And there are other programs like, like debate competitions, public speaking competitions. Always we will have all these competitions to encourage students to participate and, try to, okay, see whether they have luck in the competition.
I see. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to pass the next questions to Arrisya.
All right, so hello, I will move on to the next question. So the next question is regarding the implementation of 21st century as Puan Fauzia know, like critical thinking, problem solving, compete among classmates and so on. I want to know, how do you plan to engage your students in the classroom?
Is through interactive discussion.
Interactive discussion.
Interactive discussion.
Can you give me an example?
Like I mentioned earlier, I will group them into like group of 6. There are 6 groups, and then the good ones will teach the weaker ones, and the average one will, they will mingle among themselves, and then they will try to help each other. That's how they do it. And you will make sure that they discuss, and then later on, I think if you have like 3 slots, about half an hour after that, the last half an hour before the lesson end, we make sure that they will present their answers and produce all the discussion, present their findings. That's how they do it.
I see.
And by doing that, they will become independent.
I see. Okay. So by doing group work and interactional program, it will help all the students' proficiency begin and advanced students. I see. All right. So the next question would be, what are the differences between having face-to-face class and online classes in oral and oral skills?
Okay. Frankly speaking, I believe in face-to-face
Classes.
teaching methods rather than online teaching. Because I believe that if we were to conduct this face-to-face basis or face-to-face method, it is more effective than we let's say we conduct this online teaching. And one of the weaknesses that we can, if let's say we conduct this online teaching, we are not sure whether whether these students they focus in whatever that we are trying to say to them, and like what we had in the beginning of this Zoom meeting. Okay, they can simply block their view. So I think concentration and focus will not be there.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly.
So I believe that face-to-face is much better. We know whether they focus and concentrate in the class, and another thing, their confidence level. We can see their confidence level.
Yeah.
If it's like they are not confident, they were stammering a lot. That's how we can identify whether they are confident or not. And another thing is we can see through their body language or gesture. Their body language always we can identify through face-to-face learning.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe that face-to-face is much more effective than online teaching.
Yes, exactly. Understandable. Okay, so next question would be, what methods do you apply to monitor students' listening progress? Whether it's video or audio or instructional segments, which one?
Okay, normally I will ask them to watch video, especially like YouTube. Sometimes I will give them some few links for them to watch. Okay, links on videos, articles, anything to do with the topic that I ask them to do. So for example, like if let's say I want to conduct an oral with them, okay, I will give them like a new topic. Normally I will ask them to be ambitious, so that they will, for example, like if I say, okay, fine, about nature, it's not about nature, it's so general. So when it comes to the theme or topic nature, they can go up to they can find like something like more details about nature. For example, they can talk about barracudas, and then they can talk about these new whales. Not just basically they not only they speak about nature, okay, per se. They are supposed to talk in depth. Okay, so that's why when I give a topic, I will make sure that they try to try to do some homework, and at least they will, by doing that, they will improve. And they will I will ask them to find from all the internets and related articles from
I see. So by doing that, I believe that they become more independent in searching new knowledge and so on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will pass the next question to Wiesam Mursheeda.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so my question is, how do you encourage your introverted students to speak in class?
Okay, basically introverted. Okay, can you explain introverted? Introverted is the
like
opposite of
you
extrovert, right? Extrovert
like you
means they are
mentioned
very active,
earlier.
right? Okay,
Yeah,
they are very
like
active, right?
you
So
mentioned
introvert
students.
is the opposite of extrovert,
Yeah,
right?
the low
Okay.
confidence
So
students.
these introvert problems, okay, we will come across with this introvert student most of the time, or sometimes we call it as problematic students. Okay, sometimes, okay, not all the time. Okay, so if we come across with these introvert students, normally we will prompt questions, a lot of questions, so that they will boost their confidence. One way of doing that is, we prompt a lot of questions. For example, if let's say they don't want to speak, what's your name? And then we will try to translate nama, like that. Okay, and then if slowly, if let's say they don't want to speak, we will you have to try your best to prompt a lot of questions so that somehow they try to converse in English, and that's how they can improve slowly.
Okay, so the method here, we need to pressure, like push the
Not
students to
pressure.
speak.
Don't use the word pressure. We
Oh,
prompt
okay.
them. Yes.
Oh, all right.
We give them question like, okay, if let's say they don't understand certain words, we try to explain English. If still they don't understand, then only we can use a direct translation. That is what I've been doing all the time. Yeah.
All right, understood. Okay. So, okay, the last question is, do you integrate technology into your lessons?
Yeah, sometimes. But frankly speaking, sometimes I prefer chalk and talk. To me, I believe that chalk and talk is more effective than this all, yeah lah. Sometimes we call it like bullshit technology, you know. This IT, you know. If you use a lot
You
of
prefer
IT.
traditional way?
I prefer chalk and talk. Chalk and talk sometimes can be very effective. Okay? Because like my Form 5 students, they prefer me to, sometimes they will ask me, teacher, please write something. And then I'll write on the board. Okay? So I believe that chalk and talk is sometimes, yeah, can be used. It is, yeah, not all the time. Yeah,
Because technology can also
yeah,
trouble you.
technology, yeah, we use technology as well as chalk and talk.
All
Need to
right.
explain them certain things that we need to stress. For example, like formats of the, okay, let's say if you were to explain formats of the exam, we need to tell them. We can't simply use things like, you know, IT online to explain. We need to explain. That's why chalk and talk will, you know, take place. So I believe that talk and talk is important as IT and other technologies.
Understood. Okay. So I guess 10 questions. We ended the 10 questions interview. So,
All 10 questions answered, huh?
yeah. Okay, so Shaswini, Puji Bungapi, sorry. Shaswini, do you have anything to say?
Okay, so that's the end of our interviewing session. So I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Puan Fauzia a lot, because she actually was kind enough to give us some time for the session. Besides all that, I would just like to know, how do you find your experience right now, like this interview? What do you think of us?
This interview.
Yes.
This interview. Okay, I think this is something new for me lah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's good for you all. It's a kind of good practice for all of you lah. Because somehow you need to conduct this from time to time, because we are supposed to follow these new norms, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Somehow you need to do these online courses, online learning or teaching, okay? And you need to do whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no other choice.
Yeah.
Some more you are new generation. I think you need to challenge yourself to do something different.
Yes, definitely. So, okay, that will be the end of our interview session. Thank you